So today we are discussing a book talk, and we are discussing This Is Where the World Ends by Amy Zahagan. And she wrote, I actually have the book behind me, Falling into Place, which is, I love this book so much. It's so, just the way she writes this book and the mystery in it is just great. This was her debut novel, and it's just a wonderful book, and I love the color on this book. It's just really pretty. I know my book's kind of dirty. Let's not judge it. This book's been through. So this is about a boy named Micah and a girl named Janie, and that's all really I'm going to tell you. You don't want to know what this is about. I actually looked at the cover and read the description and thought it was about angels. It's not about angels. FYI. I give it a 3 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. Yeah. It's great. It's a great book, but I just had some problems with the characters. So, yeah. But it's a great book. I would recommend reading it. The writing is beautiful. The book is beautiful. I mean, inside the book, it just has this gorgeous, doodly aspect, and the cover, red and blue, seems to be our theme. The book is just a navy blue. But yeah, so that is all for the non-spoilery section of this review. So if you haven't read it, come back when you read this book and then we can talk about it. Because you're my friends and I like to talk about books. I have an addiction. My mom yelled at me because of my bookcase behind me because I'm not supposed to have this many books. Because when I move back home, we have to take all these books home. But I keep buying them because I love them so much. So, yeah. Alright, so let's start off with talking about the characters. So we have my notes obviously not organized because when do I organize my notes? So we have two main characters, but two characters that are in the book, like side characters, but I consider Dewey kind of a main character in this too. So let's talk about Janie for a second. Now, I was reading some reviews after I read the book on Goodreads, and a lot of people were like, oh my gosh, she's just like Margot, or she's just like Looking for Alaska. And I'm going to stop that right there, because she is nothing like those. This girl is certifiably insane. She lives in her own little head, and she's just downright psychotic in so many ways. She shows so many signs of psychotic behavior, and that was my main problem with the book, is I didn't like the main female character, because personally I like reading from female characters' point of views, but one of my favorite books is Looking for Alaska, and that is in a boy's point of view, but we have Alaska. Alaska is such a strong character, and John Green writes her so well that Janie just did not connect with me, and I just didn't like how she treated Micah. Their friendship was toxic from the beginning. Not telling people you talk to someone is so stupid, and it's so high school, but yeah, we'll get into that. I really liked the dedication in this. In the front, it said, to the girls with matches in their fists and fire in their hearts. I thought it was so cute, and I don't know, I liked that. It was a good dedication. We open on page 5, and we find out that there has been this accident. There's been this fire, and it's this whole mystery of the fire. And so I immediately knew that this wasn't started by a bonfire. Obviously, this was set, and someone did it. So we immediately find out, and then the cops come in to play in this chapter about and asking Micah anything he remembers. And he obviously doesn't remember anything, or he would, obviously he wouldn't you'd be able to tell he doesn't remember anything. The cops keep pushing him, and in my mind, I'm thinking, wouldn't the doctors at some point say, you need to stop pushing him or he's going to have a psychotic break? But no, they keep pushing and pushing and pushing. Finally, the cops go away at some point, but everyone thinks Micah has done this, and he really didn't. He didn't do it. And we meet Dewey in this scene where we find out, and I actually really liked Dewey. He was a good character. He was a great friend till the end. And he ends up being gay, and I didn't realize that Dewey was gay. In my mind, he wasn't, but then when that was announced, he's always been in love with Micah by Janie, which was really petty for her to throw in their face all the time. Like, shut up, you don't know anything about Dewey's feelings, and this is why Dewey's such an asshole. He's described in the book as an asshole, and I feel like this is why. It's because he's always defensive and always having to defend himself, even with Micah. And so, yeah, I really like Dewey's characters. On page 10, she's drawing ruins, which was really fun, and I really liked that. What is the exact line? I drew ruins for silence and speed and courage all over my arms, and I wished for luck on 2 matches, which was really fun. Like, she draws ruins, and I love the shadow hunting world, and I know ruins don't exactly come from there. There's probably other cultures that use ruins or other things, but I just finished the Shadowhunter book, and I was like, my heart. So they go on this adventure, and I feel like this is why people say this paper towns vibe they get, and they fill the whole yard with balloons because Carrie Lang's boyfriend is allergic to latex or something of that sort. So they do all that. They have a bunch of adventures they do, but I really didn't. I got the paper towns vibe, but I was like, I don't like Janie. Like, can we replace her with Margot? Even though Margot wasn't my favorite character anyways, I just, I had a problem with that. Oh, I wrote on my book talk on the thing, it says, update, we are not dead, and Micah still doesn't know left from right. And I said, me too, Micah, me too. Because I'm dyslexic, and I don't know my right from left. I have to think about it really hard when I'm giving directions at work, and I say, you have to go down right towards the exit and turn right. I mean left, turn left. And people look at me, and they're like, I'm just like, sorry, 5-year-old right here. So there's this whole mystery of where Janie is, and this whole thing of how Dewey tells, and everyone's telling Micah about how she went to Nepal, and I knew that was bull from the second they said that. When the second they said she went to Nepal, I was like, she's dead. She's dead. Something happened to her. She either burned in that fire. She's dead. And when they were by the quarry and talking about how people die and are never found, or all this stuff about the deaths in the quarry, I knew from the second they talked about that, that's how she had died. But I didn't know exactly how, because I really actually didn't think she killed herself. I thought they were going to be like drunk and Micah had pushed her in, or she fell, and I thought it was going to be something like that, and that's why that they were saying, I'll see you in court or everything, not because of the arson also. So, but she does kill herself, obviously. Then we're introduced to Andrew Cameron. And let me tell you, Andrew Cameron, it's sad that I liked Andrew Cameron, who rapes Janie, more than Janie. I did not like Janie. That's how much I did not like her. I mean, there's no reason that, like, Andrew should have done that. But, I don't know. Andrew was just more of a personality in the book that my big problem with this book was Janie. I just wanted to punch her in the face and tell her to stop being psychotic and carrying rocks around in her pocket like a weirdo. Like, get out of your head. Get out of your fairy tale world and live in the real world. And yes, you can live in fairy tales. You can write books. You can... I mean, what do I do? Like, hello? I read all the time and I write books. But I'm not so delusional to believe her 13-step plan or believe that her fairy tale is actually her fairy tale. Oh, this is a scene that I actually did like, is the racing through town was really fun. When they get in the car and they look at each other and they say go or whatever they said, and they race through town, and of course Micah gets the ticket. That would be my luck. I would get a ticket. No, they'd be like, you, ticket, because Janie just caused all this commotion and almost ran over a fourth grader because she's so responsible. She's a great person. This is when, like, about page 100 is really when I started hating Janie. I feel like this whole review is me hating Janie and me acting like I didn't like the book. I enjoyed the book very much. I loved the writing. It was a great story. I just didn't like the main character. So don't think that I did not like her or did not like Amy's book. I really did enjoy it. It's just Janie. But there's this part, and it's on page 97, and Janie is talking about how Micah loves her, and she knows Micah loves her, but he can wait, and she just wants to have a fling with Ander. Like, why are you toying with this boy who is your best friend's emotions? Why is that okay? And that's really when I was like, man, she's messed up in the head. She needs to, like, get some psychiatric help, because who does that? Who does that? So, Janie and Ander and Piper and this other boy, I don't remember his name, are having this party, and Piper and the boy leave, and Ander ends up raping Janie, which was like super... I felt like that was super... I don't know. I just felt like it was not something Ander would do, just because, I don't know. I don't know why I didn't think that would happen, but it happens, and then she ends up looking up law offices in the area, and then it ends up getting around the school, and everyone does not believe Janie, because I wouldn't believe Janie either, because if she's as... how do I put this? If she talks how she writes and she is how she is, I would not doubt that she's told a few lies before. She's, like, twisted the truth all the time, just because I feel like that's who Janie is. And, like, yeah, that sucks, like, that no one believes her, and I feel bad for her, but, like, I don't know, I feel like Janie was that person who was really manipulative with her friends and told lies all through her life, so now that she actually has something to say, it's not credible, and she's getting mad about it. But so everyone doesn't believe Janie, and it's calling, which, this is my thing, is if everyone in the school knew about this, why was Micah still asking her, what's wrong, what happened, what's wrong, what's wrong? Micah would have already heard it in school about Ander and Janie. Like, he would have already knew that, but does he not put two and two? I don't know. I just found that weird, because she's getting, like, notes and she gets, like, candygrams, and they all say, like, slut. They have all these riddles about how Janie is a slut, she's a whore, she's a liar, all this stuff. But wouldn't you think that Micah would... That was just something that didn't add up to me, unless it was just, like, that group of friends. But that group of friends was pretty popular, and it would have spread, and she said that the whole school knew. So, yeah, I don't know. The bonfire night. So Micah realizes Janie is dead. She realizes that she drowned in the quarry and that she killed herself in the quarry, and the whole bonfire night is revealed. So Janie steals Ander's credit card and goes buys the gasoline. So she plans this big bonfire after homecoming, she gets Micah drunk. And she's totally playing with Micah's feelings this whole time. She's like, just like totally toying with him. I love you, kissing on him, like under the blanket, like just totally toying with him. So Andrew and Piper find her. You're out in the open at a party. What did you expect? To be like, oh, nope, didn't see that. Like, nope. So then Andrew ends up like ripping her off of Micah, kissing her. Micah storms off, and then they get in this fight. And Micah stood up for himself, and I was so proud of Micah for doing this when he's like, I think we just should not be friends. I don't think this should be happening anymore. And he told her, he said, I don't like the way you treat me, all this stuff. And I was like, yeah, you go, boy. Yeah. That was too much. That was too much. Anyways, I was so happy about that. So then Janie ends up setting the fire. She drenches the whole house in gasoline, and then she lights the match, drops it, and runs outside and yells fire. So then this whole big fire happens. Oh, and then she sits on the curb and watches as the officers and the fire trucks come and try to put out this giant fire that she set that she knows is going to burn to the ground. Burns the house to the ground. And she walks to the quarry, writes on the rocks, sticks them in her pocket, leaves the Nepal tickets and all that, and then she walks her ass into the quarry and drowns herself. Okay. Like, I don't know. I feel like I already knew that was gonna happen. I already knew that she was dead. I already knew it wasn't some big secret. So I feel like it wasn't like, and I already did not like Janie, so I was like, supposed to be devastated because I didn't feel it. It just wasn't something I was devastated about. Whole thing goes back on Micah, and she realizes that too before she kills herself, is that Anders sent her a picture of him flipping her off, and he's in the car and not at the party, so she knew that it was gonna fall back on Micah, but she didn't care. She's just like, well, I'm gonna kill myself anyways, like, peace out, you're gonna deal with this, sucks to suck. That's just how it's gonna happen. That's pretty much what I felt she did. But, ooh, I wrote this down. Micah kisses Dewey when he was drunk, and like, Dewey beats the crap out of him, and I don't feel bad. Like, yeah, Dewey, you stand up for yourself. You tell him how it is, because you know he doesn't really like you. He's just playing with you. I feel like that's just how this whole book was. Like, let's play with everyone's emotions, in all the characters' emotions. At the end of the book, we find out that Micah wants to go to Nepal to kind of honor Janie's memories, which I don't feel like he owed her anything. He had the ticket, so he could go to Nepal. But also there's going to be a huge court case, so I don't feel like him going to Nepal is a really great idea. Like, no, like, probably not the best idea to do, but him and Dewey are going to go to Nepal, honor Janie's memories. So those are my thoughts on This Is Where the World Ends by Amy Zahangan. Leave your responses, your questions, anything about the book in the comment section, because I'd really like to know what you thought of this book. Again, I gave it a 3 out of 5 on Goodreads. And yeah, thanks for watching, loves.